Welcome back to another episode of 40 Facts About the 40K Universe. I am your host, Gershwin, and you are watching One Mind Syndicate. Today we continue talking about Chaos Space Marines as we get into Slaaneshi devotees, the Noise Marines. Noise! If you guys are new to the channel, please subscribe. We post Warhammer 40K content every single day. And if you have any suggestions, comment down below. But with that said, let's get into 40 facts on the Noise Marines. Noise Marines are the Chaos Space Marine foot soldiers deeply dedicated to the Chaos god Slaanesh, who are most commonly found in the Emperor's Children Traitor Legion, but also in other Slaanesh-devoted Chaos Space Marine warbands, such as the Flawless Hosts. Their trademark is the use of devastating sonic weapons that confuse and demoralize enemy forces in a wild show of deafeningly loud, psychosonically, and pyrotechnically explosive attacks. Regardless of the faction, warband, or traitor legion they belong to, Noise Marines wear power armor painted in the manner of striking and bold colors. Pinks, blacks, and purples are used predominantly in bizarre patterns all over their armor's legs, arms, gauntlets, helmets, and shoulder plates. Their senses are so distorted that only the most extravagant shades and patterns register as pleasing to their minds. Though the bark and blast of the bolt gun is music to the Noise Marines' ears, many specialize in the use of a variety of outlandish sound-based weapons. The most common of these is the Sonic Blaster. The champions of these twisted hedonists instead use the Blastmaster and the Doom Siren, each of which produces a series of deafeningly loud attacks that disintegrate the target with extreme frequency sonic waves. Noise Marines are also prone to display the extremely grotesque mutations or surgical alterations, which are considered gifts of Slaanesh and are very common amongst the Slaaneshi devotees. The first creation of the Noise Marines goes back to the days immediately preceding the Horus Heresy. The Noise Marines' name obviously comes from their preference of weapons. All of the sonic weaponry is descended from the musical instruments invented by the famed composer Bekal Kinska Antera, who accompanied the Emperor's Children 28th Expeditionary Fleet as a remembrancer aboard the battle barge Pride of the Emperor during the Great Crusade. Kinska was a jaded musician, always in search for further sensations to create more exhilarating and all-encompassing music, which made her an easy target for Slaaneshi corruption. After Kinska accompanied many of the 28th Expedition's remembrancers to the temple dedicated to Slaanesh on the Xenos world of Loran, she was touched by the chaotic corruption of that foul place, and slowly sought to create the ultimate orchestra piece that she believed could capture the wondrous sounds she had heard within the Lair Temple. Her ultimate masterpiece was a symphony she named the Maraviglia, in which she performed for Fulgrim and all the assembled Astartes of the Emperor's Children and their supported personnel within the Remembrancers' Lounge, called Le Fenice, aboard the Pride of the Emperor. To recreate the sound she had heard, Kinska created new musical instruments whose sonic powers could also be used for destruction when employed by the individuals already corrupted by Slaanesh. As Maraviglia began, the cacophony of sound unleashed by these instruments acted as a ritual that opened a link between real space and the warp, and allowed the powers of Slaanesh to directly touch the audience. During the performance, it was noted that the musical instruments were able to produce effects variously disorienting, stimulating, and downright murderous. Chaotic mutation ran rampant throughout the audience, and Astartes and humans alike were so overwhelmed by the sensation and uncontrollable emotions that they unleashed an orgy of both sensual hedonism and the most base forms of murder upon one another. Ultimately, the music summoned 5 lesser demons of Slaanesh, known as Demonettes, who possessed the bodies of Kinska and several of her singers, who then joined in the slaughter. During this part of the concert, several Emperor's Children Astartes left their seats and took up the instruments to try and keep the chaotic music playing, and in the course of their untrained fumbling with the instruments, discovered that they could unleash a wave of destructive sonic power filled with the strength of chaos. When the Emperor's Children engaged the Imperial Loyalists during the Dropsite Massacre on Isfahan 5, some Emperor's Children Space Marines took to the field armed with these modified sonic weapons, becoming the first Noise Marines. The Noise Marines, present in the 3rd Legion, soon organized themselves into a unit known as the Cacophony, which was under the command of the Legion's 3rd Captain, Marius Varashon. After the heresy, the early Noise Marines took their deviant behaviors to a new level through their dedication to their patron Chaos God, and over the years of bloody warfare with the Imperium, have honed their bodies to possess such extreme sensory perception that nothing can stir their emotions other than the din of battle and the screams of the dying. The Emperor's Children are perhaps the most depraved of the traitor legions to venture into the notorious warp real space interface known as the Screaming Vortex, on the boundary between the Calixis sector and the Coronus Expanse in the Segmentum Obscurus. Many journey into this turbulent realm to sample firsthand the unique worlds and vile delights of its denizens, while others harbor unspeakable cruel designs for those wayward souls who fail to escape them. These deranged warriors undertake such despicable pursuits with complete disregard for the Vortex's many dangers, and eagerly brave all manner of foes in their unending quest for excessive indulgence. Those small warbands of the Emperor's Children are not uncommon when it suits their purpose. Lone members of this legion are generally the norm. The most common of these are Noise Marines, whose insane yearning for the deafening clamor of battle leads the slightly saner denizens of the Vortex to avoid dealing with them, if at all possible. Chaos Space Marines from other traitor legions have also attuned themselves to similar auditory excesses, equally as devout in their pursuit of Slaaneish's gifts of song and equally as deadly. Often such encounters end violently, or if the victim is particularly unlucky, the Noise Marines might instead take the miserable wretch alive. The destructive power of these fallen Space Marines cannot be denied, and many amongst the heretics of the Vortex deem the benefit of harboring them well worth the risk. A Noise Marine in the Screaming Vortex can indulge in a plethora of unequally vile experiences and sensations in order to assure his unrelenting yearning. Yet of the many temptations that await them within the turbulent realm, the lust of auditory stimulation is the most enticing of all. Whether achieved through pitched battle, arcane devices, or the abilities of one of the Screaming Vortex's inhabitants, Noise Marines go to any lengths to attain their desire, and are increasingly common sight amongst its many denizens. And those were 40 facts on the Noise Marines. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, share it with your friends on Facebook with the caption, NOISE! Comment down below if you know where that's from. Now, jump on over to the wiki page. Link is going to be down in the description. There's more information on the Noise Marines that I did not cover that you can get on there. The Noise Marines are a really funny unit. I don't really like the look of them. Purple, pink, it's a goofy color to me. And then the actual helmet that they wear and then the gun that they have looks really goofy. I think even worse than the Plague Marines. The Plague Marines at least kind of look a little badass even though their guts are falling out. The Noise Marines just, I don't know, they're not scary, they're just kind of like weird looking. And reading the lore, at first I was like, oh, these guys are kind of badass. But then you learn that not even other Space Marines want to hang out with them. And it's just like, oh, who invited the Noise Marines? Great. They're just going to bother us the entire time. Like, not even other Space Marines like them, which I think is really funny. But hey, if you're a Slaaneshi player, good for you, I guess. I hope you collect demonettes. But yeah, I really think that the Noise Marines can use a huge revamp. Comment down below if you guys agree. If you guys have any suggestions on other topics of Warhammer 40K, just comment down below. We read the comments every day, and we participate with you guys every single day. So if you guys have anything funny to say about the Noise Marines, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot, comment down below. I would love to hear your thoughts. With that said, guys, if you want to support us a little bit more, if you want to jump on over to Patreon A simple dollar really helps us out. If you can't, we understand. Simply by hitting the notification button on YouTube, it really helps out the channel, especially now with all this goofiness that YouTube is doing. But with that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow. This was Gershwin with One Mind Syndicate, signing out.